The Mac operating system comes pre-installed with Python. However, the default Mac Python installation may not include the correct version of tcl-tk to use tkinter. Also, the Mac OS typically includes Python 2, whereas this course is oriented around using Python 3. In this video, I'll walk you through the entire installation process for Python 3 and tcl-tk on Mac to ensure you have the most up-to-date software. I'll begin with downloading and installing Python 3.4. Then I'll show you how to get the correct version of tcl-tk for your operating system. To get the Python installer, go to the Python download page at python.org/download. Scroll down and select the version that you want to use for your computer. In this case, I'm going to use Python 3.4 for Mac OS 10.6 and later. Click on the link to start the download. Once the download is completed, you can navigate to your downloads and double-click on the disk image file. This will mount the image, and when it opens, you can control-click on the .mpkg file. This will give you a menu where you can choose to open the file. Selecting Open will bring up the Python installer. Click Continue to progress through the menus. Eventually, it'll prompt you to agree to the software license agreement. Click the Agree button, and then you'll see an Install button. When you click on this Install button, it'll prompt you for your administrative password. Enter the password, and then click the Install Software button. After the installer finishes, we'll have Python 3.4 on this machine. However, we still need to download and install tcl-tk. If we look back at that Python download page, you notice there's a little footnote marker next to our download link. If I click that, it'll take me to a footnote at the bottom of the page which says there's important information about idle, tkinter, and tcl-tk on Mac OS X here. Follow that link, and it'll take you to a page that tells us we need to install a version of tcl-tk 8.5. There's a table down below, which we can use to determine which version we'll need based on our version of the Mac OS. Since I'm using 10.9 and I'm using Python release 3.4.1, I'll need ActiveTcl 8.5.15. If I click on that link, it'll take me to a lower section of the web page where I can find a link to ActiveState's website. Follow that link. ActiveState provides up-to-date binary distributions of tcl-tk. Scroll down on the page to find the distribution that matches the version we saw on the previous chart. I'm selecting this link because I need version 8.5.15, and I'm using Mac OS 10.5 or greater. Click on the link to start the download. And when the download is completed, you can navigate to your downloads and double-click on the image file to mount the disk image. Again, we'll use our Control-click to select the PKG file and choose Open from the menu. This brings up the installer for ActiveState's ActiveTcl 8.5, which is very similar to the one we just went through for Python 3.4. Click the Continue button to navigate the menus. Select Agree when you're prompted to agree to the software license agreement. And then when you see the Install button, click that. And again, you'll be prompted to enter your username and password. Enter the credentials, and then hit the Install button. After the ActiveTcl installation is completed, we can eject those disk images because we're finished with them. Go to Finder, eject Python 3.4.1, and eject ActiveTcl. Now that we have Python 3.4 and ActiveTcl 8.5.15 installed, to verify that everything's working correctly, let's go to Finder and open idle. Idle is the integrated development environment which is included with Python. You can use idle to perform the following checks on your machine, or you can run the Python 3 interpreter from another shell program of your choice. First, let's try importing the tkinter package by typing import tkinter into the Python command prompt and pressing enter. Notice that both import and tkinter are spelled in all lowercase letters because we're using Python 3. If we did not get any error messages from this, then it means that Python successfully found and imported the tkinter package. Next, type import _tkinter. This will import the compiled binary associated with the tkinter package and press enter. Now that we've successfully imported the tkinter package and the associated binaries, let's run the included test routine. type tkinter dot underscore test, open parentheses, close parentheses, and press enter. You should see a pop-up window like the one shown here. If you click on the Click Me button, it should add square brackets around the text, and the window will also tell you what version of TickleTK you're using. You can press the Quit button to close out the window. If all of that runs without error, then you're good to go with tkinter. One last thing I want to point out is that idle is actually written in Python using the tkinter package. The little rocket ship icon that appears down in the dock is actually the TK icon. This means that just by virtue of successfully opening idle, we already know that tkinter is working on this machine. However, as I mentioned before, you can still perform these tests for tkinter without idle by running the Python interpreter from another shell. If you're running Python from another terminal program, be sure that you're using Python version 3 instead of Python version 2, otherwise these tkinter commands will not work.